South Africa will host various leaders of developing and developed countries trying to find solutions to global economic and financial issues. Experts say issues such as debt, which is important to the African continent, will be one of the top issues on the agenda. Issues of climate change and the green energy transition and sustainable financing will also be on the leaders' minds. Other important issues include geopolitical tensions that have in the recent past impacted global supply chains.
The first meeting of the Sherpa and the finance track really is to put forward the agenda that South Africa has outlined throughout its the last few months, and also in the concept note. And this is one of the top or key benefits of hosting the G20 is because it can be South Africa's voice on the agenda. But in the end, it's an informal grouping and it is consensus based. So the first meeting is really to discuss the proposals on the table and to come some kind of consensus on which ones will be put forward in the next year. I think what South Africa has done is building on what Brazil did last year, is linking the Sherpa meetings with the finance meetings. So there is a Sherpa meeting on the 9th, and then on the 11th, there's a joint meeting of the Sherpa and the finance track. And this is really because there's a lot of issues on the G20 agenda that get discussed separately within the two tracks. For example, sustainable financing gets discussed in the finance track, but also in the energy transitions working group of the Sherpa track. So I think this is something that they've recognized that Brazil tried to do and are going to push for it as well.
The South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry says it's important for business to unite to take advantage of the opportunities presented by the G20 for the betterment of the country, the region, and the African continent. The organization says this would help push forward solutions for challenges such as poverty, unemployment, and inequality.
We need a very clear appraisal in terms of what is the thing that we're actually going to do. We need skills, without any doubt. We need high levels of competencies so that we can diversify our product portfolio in terms of the things that we're consuming ourselves, as well as the things that we're actually able to export. We produce a lot of raw materials, whether it's minerals, but we're busy selling rocks and soil to overseas countries in terms of looking at how do we process that. And of course, when we've got the skills and the technical capability and the wherewithal to be able to do that, we'll find that the funding piece and the financing piece should not necessarily be that difficult to get, at least from our international global financial partners. But we also need to activate our own funding and our own sources of money that lies around in many of the treasuries in South Africa and many of the corporate treasuries in terms of take advantage. Here are the opportunities. But we do need to focus on the building of skills. We need to know how we're going to do the industrialization, how we're going to do the processing of our raw materials, whether it's on the mineral side, whether it's on the agri side, and what are we going to do to build the other pieces of infrastructure that are missing. It's not just the energy. We need to do the rail piece, we need to do the water and sanitation, we need to do the telecoms infrastructure in a way in which it's going to be very inclusive and enable South Africa to compete very, very, very well.
National Treasury says there will be at least 130 G20 related meetings across all of the country's 9 provinces between December and next year November, taking place under the theme Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability. Gloria Sefakomusi, SABC News, Johannesburg.